Today, I'm going to show you guys the only things that you need to get your daily buys for the day. It's actually extremely simple. I'm going to go in depth on it today, while also showing you examples on how we use the daily bias for trades. All right, boys. So we're here on the charts for today, and I'm going to basically just show you guys how simple it is to find your daily bias. It's really not that complicated. People try to overcomplicate it, but it can really be boiled down to a couple different things. And those three things are, in no particular order: what high time frame gaps are we delivering from? 2, what high time frame gaps are we inversing? And 3, what DOLs, or I guess 4, are we delivering from? 4, and what DOLs we have. So the first thing I do when I come into any day is actually go to the 4-hour time frame and see what's happening on the 4-hour time frame. And as you see on the 4-hour time frame right now, we have a massive 4-hour gap put in above us, and we have extreme displacement off this attempt at a V-shaped recovery. Yes, we are also rejecting out of this 4-hour gap after filling it. I am still bearish. Yes, we're delivering out of this gap, but until this gap gets inversed, my bias really probably isn't going to be long. But let's come down to the 1 hour, see if we can get some more information on it. On the 1 hour time frame, we're still just kind of bouncing around down here. We haven't tapped back into this 1 hour gap up here yet. We did tap into this tiny 1 hour that's already been filled, so its relevance is a little less than it was had it not been. So not much more on the 1 hour. We're still just bouncing inside of this 1 hour / 4 hour gap with that giant gap sitting above us. And so the high time frame gaps that we're delivering from, we are currently, the last gap or gaps that we are delivering from are this 4 hour down here and this 4 hour / 1 hour. Then let's go to the 30 minute. And once we're done with the 30 minute, what's happening once we're done with the hour and the 1 hour, then we'll go down to the 30 minute and see what time frame gaps we're inversing. We are currently inversing this gap right here. But after we inversed that gap and took out this London high right here, this is where the draws on liquidity. So I guess you would theoretically, you should probably draw out your draws while you're seeing what gaps got inversed, because this draw isn't valid anymore, but it is valid for bias because, yeah, we inversed a 30 minute. And so that would have made us bullish out of the 4 hour gap. We then took this external London high out, which is saying, okay, we rejected out of the 4 hour. We inversed a 30 minute. We came up and we took out this draw on liquidity. So then that's saying to me, yo, this might be bearish. You know, yeah, we inversed this. We're delivering out this 4 hour, but we took out this external London high. We didn't even get to the next internal draw up here, and we are rejecting aggressively out of that. So then we'll go down to the 15-minute time frame, see what's happening, see what levels we have. We have technically this London / pre-market low down here. And then we have, let's see what else we have. Nothing much. All right. Then we're going to come down to the 5-minute time frame, which is usually the last time frame I'll look at right before market opens. Let me get rid of this 30-minute gap that got inversed. We have this 5-minute gap that we are perfectly filling. Still bearish though, because we put in this gap. So for me today, the market's going to be bearish. And why is it bearish? Yes, we're delivering out of the 4 hour gap, but look at the narrative. Look at the trend. Look at this massive trend. And when we delivered out of that 4 hour gap, what then happened? If you looked, what DOLs are we delivering from after we inverse that 30 minute out of the 4 hour gap? We have the London high that we're taking out and rejecting aggressively down off of. So then I go to the 5-minute time frame and I'm saying, okay, I'm coming into today. I am bearish, but do not marry your bias, because yes, you come in every day with a bias, but if you marry that bias and you have in your head, yo, the market is going to do this, you have already lost. The market is unpredictable. You do your best to predict it, but no one can predict it 100%. So when trading, you want to be reactive, not proactive. A saying that I have is take what the market gives you. Ideally, I'd like shorts today. We're delivering off that London high. We get an inversion of these gaps low. We have clear draws lower. I'd like to get shorts. But and then another thing is I'm bearish unless what? Unless some gaps start getting flipped or getting respected again. So we have this 15-minute gap that got filled that's also inside a 5-minute that's getting respected. So if this 15-minute holds and then we flip this 5-minute, then I'll say, okay, I'm long bias again. But since we're delivering from that DOL, after going from internal to external, back to internal, I want to see, does this gap get flipped right here? Does this 15-minute gap get flipped? And if this 15-minute gap gets flipped, then I'm looking for this low down here. Or my bias is going to be bearish until this low or until we reject out this 4-hour gap. Now, we've almost wicked all the way through it multiple times, so it holds less relevance to me than had it not been mitigated at all. But let's see. Bearish coming in today, but we'll see what happens. Let's go forwards on the 5-minute. Ooh, what happened on the, wait a second. What happened on the 5-minute time frame? What happened on market open? Let's go down to the 1-minute. We wicked into the 5-minute, also into the first presented 1-minute, respected it, and started displacing lower. Now, this is pre 15 minutes in a market open, so I'm not going to be taking a trade at this point. Okay. We're still coming lower. Wow, we are taking out that 4-hour gap at this point. But it also gets bought back up. So what happened? My bias was right. I unfortunately did not get the entry because I wait 15 minutes. But coming into the day, what did I say was what that I wanted to see happen? I'm bearish until this low gets taken out. Excuse me, I need to sneeze. Okay, I can't sneeze. But I was bearish until this low gets taken out or this gap gets flipped. So let's go back down to the 1-minute and see what happens once we take that low. Okay, boom. Look at this. Perfect 1-minute inversion. What time is this at? This is at 8:43. This is on the edge where it's like you probably could take it and it's gonna work out. Let's see what happens had we taken this. We'll go one market just to see. We'll do our classic 25.07, so 12. We'll do our 1275, 50-point stop, 50-point TP. I'm obviously going to be in more contracts normally. But how do I confirm this order? Okay. Well, I'm in. Let's see. Boom. Full TP hit. I came in today. My bias was short until this low got taken out. And once that low got taken out, I waited for the liquidity sweep in the inversion to then get long. Now, would I have taken this on a normal day? It would have been up in the air because it's 2 minutes before that 15 minutes. Like I said, I usually like to wait 15 minutes in a market open. If I'm taking a liquidity sweep play like that or a respecting doc model, 5-minute gap with a 1-minute inversion. But I mean, that's basically all it is to the daily bias. It's you want to see what high time frame gaps are we delivering from? Which ones are we inversing? What draws on liquidity are we delivering from? And what draws on liquidity we have? And to never, I'll put in a note, never marry bias. I'm X until Y happens. So I'm bearish until this 30-minute gap gets flipped, or I'm bearish until Asia low gets taken out with inversion to the upside. So that's kind of how you want to look at the daily bias. Hopefully you guys learned something from it. Hopefully it wasn't too complicated. It's a pretty simple concept to implement into your daily strategy once you get it down. We do actually live trade every single day inside the Discord and teach our strategy in depth, everything you need to go from unprofitable to profitable. I think we've only had 4 losing days the entire year. You listen to me talk through the market. You see my executions. You can tell me if you want, but I really recommend using it to learn and become a profitable trader yourself versus signal botting. But if you do just want to get started, the Discord is free to join. The link is in the description. Just click that. You guys can join up. If you don't want to join, but you enjoyed the video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I'm going to be trying to upload every day, every other day at least. So with that being said, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.